Arsenal were beaten 3-1 at Wolverhampton to leave their top four hopes hanging by a thread. Goals from Ruben Neves, Doherty and Diogo Jota put Wolves 3-0 up before half-time. A late consolation from Socrates Papastathopoulos was probably more than this insipid Arsenal performance deserved. Positives. The only real positive for Arsenal on the night is that Manchester United's loss to their local rivals City means that Arsenal still have a shot at finishing in the top four. It seems ludicrous to propose the idea that Arsenal could win their 3 remaining games. However, if they do, they will almost certainly be in the mix. Negatives. Where to begin? Arsenal were as lacking ideas in attack as they were vulnerable in defense. As soon as they conceded the first goal, their heads dropped and they did not look like recovering. After suffering a disappointing defeat against Crystal Palace, the fans looked for a response from the team tonight. Sadly, they didn't get it. Manager rating out of 105, Unai Emery picked an attacking lineup that seemed popular among the fans. However, once the game kicked off, the team looked bereft of ideas. Emery once went an entire season at Sevilla without winning an away game. Perhaps Arsenal are beginning to discover why. Player ratings 1 to 10. 10 equals best. Players introduced after 70 minutes get no rating. GK burned Leno. 3. The German goalkeeper will feel let down by the wall, who turned their back on Neves' free kick. However, he was certainly culpable on Wolves' second goal, when he came well off his line but got nowhere near the ball. He ought to have done more to keep out Jota's effort too, his slack block instead rounding off his worst performance in an Arsenal shirt. DF Ainsley Maitland-Niles. 6. It must be tough for Maitland-Niles, who is having to learn his trade as a right-back in this chaotic Arsenal defense. DF Laurent Koscielny. 6. In the last few weeks Koscielny has looked like he is feeling the effects of Arsenal's hectic schedule. Sooner or later he is going to need a rest, as he looks like a player at breaking point. DF Socrates Papastathopoulos. 5. Arsenal fans were optimistic that the Greek centre-half's return at the expense of Mustafi might improve Arsenal at the back. Not so. After Carl Jenkinson at the weekend, it was Socrates' turn to play the opposition onside from a set piece. He was also beaten far too easily by Jota in the build-up to the third goal. At least he managed to head home Arsenal's consolation. DF Nacho Monreal. 5. If Sead Kolasinac is not trusted to play as a left-back, then Arsenal will need a younger alternative this summer. Monreal's consistency has deserted him this season as the years have begun to take their toll. MF Granit Xhaka. 5. Back in the team and back giving the ball away in dangerous positions. This was a disappointing performance from the Swiss central midfielder. MF Lucas Torreira. 5. It's difficult to assess Torreira's first season in English football. Everything he does looks very tidy, yet it's difficult to mount the case that he provides sufficient cover for the back four. MF Henrik Mkhitaryan. 5. Another player it is difficult to understand. He's seemingly incredibly gifted, yet struggles to show his talent with any kind of consistency. It often feels like Arsenal would be better served by having a player with less ability but more reliability. MF Mesut Ozil. 5. Despite having vast amount of possession, Arsenal failed to create any particularly promising goal-scoring opportunities from open play. Given that Ozil is revered as one of the best creative midfielders in the world, is it not fair to expect more? MF Alex Iwobi. 5. Although he was probably involved in Arsenal's best bit of interplay in the first play, playing in Monreal before he was fouled on the edge of the area, Iwobi faded as the game wore on. It wasn't a great surprise when he was replaced by youngster Eddie Nketiah. FW Alexander Lacazette. 5. This was not the best night for Arsenal's French forward. Without his preferred partner Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, he struggled to impose himself. He might have had a penalty, but the exaggerated dive after contact prompted the referee to wave play on instead. Substitutes. MF Seed Kolasinac 5, introduced for Mkhitaryan, 58 but didn't offer much on the left flank. MF Matteo Guendouzi, 6, came on for Torreira, 58, and was busy but ineffective. FW Eddie Nketiah, 6, introduced for Iwobi, 70, and had one of his better outings in the first team.